How you doing? I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. What is the whole truth about quitting drinking alcohol? Now what I mean by that is, what is the one de facto way that you can go and quit drinking alcohol and that's it? It all works for you. What I'm talking about in my version of quitting drinking alcohol, in everything that I teach here on Alcohol Mastery, is only one way of looking at things, right? And I can talk about it from the perspective of what's working for me and what I feel is working for other people as well, what I'm getting feedback on, and people are telling me that this is working or that's working or maybe that's not working. And if I get enough feedback from enough people telling me something is not working for them, I'll drop it, right? And this for me is, I'm building it up as I go along. It's gradually being built into something which I hope will help a lot of people in the long run. Now, I'm not the only thing that is out there. There's some of the people that I found inspiration from in the beginning were people like Alan Carr and his controlling drinking theory. I also have found a little bit of inspiration from the AA and rational recovery, and many different people from different walks of life, right? Quitting drinking alcohol is not any one of these things, right? It's the sum of all the parts, right? When you are quitting drinking alcohol, you've got to do your own research, right? And you've got to find what's working for you, right? And there's going to be stuff that I say to you that just doesn't sound right, it doesn't sit right with you, and is not going to help you, right? There's other stuff that I say, hopefully because you're watching these videos, that really does resonate with you, and you can see how you can bring that forward into your life and how you can sort of integrate it within your own life and move yourself forwards, right? So I don't know if you've ever heard of the story of the 6 blind men and the elephant. And it goes like this. There are 6 blind men and they're trying to figure out what this is in front of them, right? They're stood in front of an elephant and each one of these blind men is touching a different part of the elephant. So the guy who's touching the leg says it's a tree. It might be a pillar. The guy who's touching the trunk says it's a snake. The guy who's touching the tail says it's a piece of rope. The guy who's touching the end of the tail says it's a bit of a mouse. The guy who's touching the side of the elephant says it's a wall, and so on, right? So then these blind men all start comparing notes. They realize that they're in complete disagreement with everything that they say, right? There's one guy, you can see, he's a wise man, he's off to the side. Might be a wise ass, but he's a wise man anyway. So he says, each one of you is correct and each one of you is wrong, right? He said, you're all talking from a partial view. You've all touched only one part of the elephant. And if you put those partial views together, you'll have a good idea of what you're touching. So the reason I'm saying this is because they are basing everything on what they personally perceived, right? They're missing a whole lot of other stuff, right? And they're going on their own biases, right? Now, sometimes we lack this just general objectivity in life, right? Especially when we're doing stuff like this. And we sort of look at something like the AA and we say, well, I don't like this part of it or that part of it, therefore I'm going to dismiss the whole lot, right? Another similar story that I heard was of a guy that went to New York for the first time and he's trying to figure out what is the heart of the city, what is New York. So he's talking to all these different people, talks to a taxi driver, he talks to a copper, talks to a road sweeper. Eventually he gets to talking to a librarian, he talks to a woman who writes for a high fashion magazine, and he talks to the Lord Mayor. And each of these is giving him just different views of what their views are, their perspective from. And he says at the end of the day, you know, this doesn't make any sense to me. What is New York? It doesn't tell me what New York is, right? But what he's getting is just a picture of New York, right? If you imagine that each one of these people has their experience as a pebble, right? And they take their pebble and put it down into the overall mosaic of New York, and everyone has their own different view. So, you know, the real New York is an accumulation of all these pebbles, right? It's a mosaic of all these pebbles. So the policeman has got his own version, the society columnist has got her own version, the road sweeper has his, the Lord Mayor has hers, all that kind of stuff, right? It's the same thing when you're looking for information about quitting drinking, quitting smoking, when you're looking for information about trying to get new habits into your life. you're going to hear a lot of different stuff. And what you can do is you can build your own mosaic suitable to you, right? What is going to suit you, what's going to suit your life. There's no point in you taking everything that I have, everything that, say, Alan Carr offers you, and taking them verbatim and, you know, trying to apply everything to your life, because it's not going to work like that, right? You have to take the bits out that work for you. The general principles might work, but you've got to sort of take them and change them a little bit and just see what works for you in the long run, and build your own mosaic, your own whole truth about your own journey, right? Not only for quitting drinking alcohol, but whatever you try and do next. So I hope you got something out of that. That was a little bit rambly. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you have anything to say, any comments at all, leave them down below. If you've got any questions as well, leave them down below. I'd love to hear what your opinions on this are. Until next time, I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Take care of yourself, keep the alcohol out of your mouth, and stay safe. Onwards and upwards.